Hello everyone, and welcome to my Soap Twist 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The hospital corridor smelled of antiseptic and stale coffee, clinging to the walls like the Forrester family's weeks-long anxiety. Luna Nozawa stood outside the ICU, her hands pushed against the cool glass window, watching the ventilator that was keeping her grandma, Sheila Carter, alive. The machines beeped in a constant cadence, a mechanical heartbeat mocking the insanity churning inside Luna's chest. She hadn't slept in 2 days, since the ambulance arrived at the ER with Sheila tied to a gurney, her body bruised from a fall that no one could properly explain. Luna's fingers trembled as she grasped the edge of her jacket, which she had worn the night everything changed. Her mother, Poppy, had been a wreck, sobbing uncontrollably about a quarrel, a shove, and a mistake. But Luna knew better. She had seen the look in Sheila's eyes that night, wild, desperate, and dangerously calculating. Sheila Carter did not fall down the stairs on accident. She created havoc, even if it meant putting herself in the crosshairs. "Luna," a voice said softly behind her. Luna turned to see her Aunt Lee Finnegan, standing with a chart in her hand and a grim expression that made her stomach twist. Lee's scrubs were immaculate, her hair carefully tied back, but her eyes showed her tiredness. "You should not be here. You need to relax." "I'm not leaving her," Luna responded, her tone harder than she intended. She relaxed and returned her gaze to Sheila's still figure. "She is my grandmother, Lee. Whether I like it or not." Lee's lips formed a narrow line. She had never hidden her dislike for Sheila, and Luna could not blame her. Sheila had attempted to kill Lee and terrorized the Finnegans for years. But Luna was not Lee. She wasn't like Poppy, who had spent her entire life avoiding Sheila's shadow. Luna had grown up hearing the legends of Sheila the villain and Sheila the monster, but she had also caught glimpses of something different. A woman who loved intensely, even if her love was like a wildfire that destroyed everything in its path. "She's stable for now," Lee remarked, flipping over the chart. "But the brain swelling is bad. The doctors are discussing a decision. Life support. Whether to keep her on it or—" She trailed off, looking to Luna's face for a reaction. Luna's breath caught. "They cannot. They do not get to make that decision." "It is not their choice," Lee remarked gently. "This is yours. Sheila named you as her medical proxy. Did you know that?" Luna froze. The word struck her like a slap. Medical proxy? Sheila, in one of her rare moments of awareness, had signed documents giving Luna control over her life or death choices. It was a strange type of trust, one that felt like a trap rather than an honor. Luna discovered the documents weeks ago, tucked inside an envelope with her name scrawled in Sheila's jagged handwriting. Luna had planned to visit her grandma and demand answers, but the accident changed everything. "I can't do this," she said, her voice breaking. "I'm not prepared for this," Lee said, stepping closer and resting his hand on Luna's shoulder. "Neither of us are prepared for Sheila Carter. But you are her family, Luna, and she chose you." Luna shook her head and moved away. "She did not select me. She's attempting to manipulate me. Even from her hospital bed, she's playing games." Lee didn't argue. She'd seen enough of Sheila's plans to realize Luna wasn't completely wrong. But something in Lee's stillness made Luna's skin tingle. "There's something else," Lee finally said. "Police are asking questions. Regarding the fall. Poppy's tale doesn't add up, and they're looking at you as well." Luna's heart raced. "Me? I was not even there." "You were at the house earlier that night," Lee explained. "The neighbors saw you shouting with Sheila." "What about the will?" Luna's voice was scarcely audible. Lee nodded. "Last month, Sheila modified it. You inherit everything from her, including her money, properties, and potentially questionable assets. If she dies, you'll be a very wealthy woman, Luna." Luna felt the floor wobble under her. This was Sheila's game, her last move in a lifetime of chess. She had set Luna up, put a bullseye on her back, and now the world was waiting to see what she would do. Keep Sheila alive, and Luna will be tied to a woman who has damaged countless lives. Let her go, and Luna would be free, but at the expense of her grandmother's life and the possibility of murder. The Forster Creations office was a war zone of fabric swatches and unfinished designs, but Steffi Forster was not in the mood for couture. She stormed through the doors, her heels sounding like gunshots on the marble flooring. Ridge Forster looked up from his desk, his face etched with the tiredness that had gripped them all since Sheila's accident. "Steffi, what's happening?" Ridge inquired, setting down his sketchbook. "It's Luna," Steffi said, slamming her phone on the desk. The television showed a tabloid headline, "Luna Nozawa, heiress or accomplice. She has the cops on her tail, and she now controls Sheila's life." Ridge sighed, rubbing his temples. "This is a disaster, Dad. Luna is not Sheila. She's simply a youngster caught up in her grandmother's problem." "She's not a kid," Steffi responded. "She is 25, and she has been playing both sides for months. You witnessed how she interacted with Finn. She's turned his head around, and now she has Sheila's power of attorney? This is typical Carter manipulation." Ridge leaned back, his gaze narrowing. "Do you suppose Luna pushed Sheila down the stairs?" "I'm not sure what I think," Steffi said. "But I know Sheila doesn't do anything without a strategy. And identifying Luna as her proxy? That is not love. That's strategy." Before Ridge could react, the door burst wide and Finn rushed in, his face flushed. "Steffi, we should talk. About Luna." Steffi's eyes sparkled. "Oh, now you want to speak? After you've defended her for weeks?" "Enough," Ridge stated, standing. "Finn, what is this about?" Finn paused, staring between them. "Luna is at the hospital. She's struggling. The physicians are pressuring Sheila to make a decision, and her condition is deteriorating. I think she needs support." Steffi laughed bitterly. "She needs a lawyer. Finn, the cops are developing a case. And you're too blind to see it because you're still obsessed with her." "I'm not obsessed with her," Finn answered, but his tone lacked conviction. Luna had always been a conundrum, a pull he couldn't quite explain. She wasn't much like Sheila, but there was something in her eyes, a fierceness, a vulnerability, that reminded him of the woman he'd once thought he could help. Ridge raised a hand. "Let's not do it here. Finn, get to the hospital. Check on Luna, but maintain your distance. Steffi, you are with me. We're going to Il Giardino to see Eric and make sure the press doesn't turn this into a circus." Steffi stared at Finn, then nodded. As they walked away, Finn's phone rang with a text from Luna. "I need you. Please." The night shift had settled in, making the facility calmer. Luna sat in a plastic chair near Sheila's bed, with only the beeping equipment for company. Sheila's face was pale, her lips split, yet she still had a formidable presence, even while she was unconscious. Luna reached out and brushed a strand of hair from her grandmother's forehead. "Why did you do this?" Luna whispered. "Why me?" Luna felt her heart lurch as Sheila's hand trembled. Was this a sign? A machinic trick? Luna leaned nearer, her voice shaking. "If you can hear me, please give me something. Anything." The devices beeped indifferently. Luna's eyes streamed with tears. She recalled her childhood, when Sheila would pop up unexpectedly with presents and stories from a world Luna could only imagine. Sheila had been a hurricane, but she had also been a spark, a reminder that Luna was more than Poppy's flaws or Lee's contempt. Sheila saw something in her that was worth betting on. The door creaked open, and Finn came in, bringing a surprising warmth to the sterile chamber. "Luna," he said softly, "are you okay?" "No," she replied, not looking at him. "I'm not." Finn drew a chair beside her, his knee brushing against hers. "Lee informed me about the proxy." Luna laughed bitterly. "That's a lot." This is Sheila's last laugh. She knew I was going to be stranded here, forced to make a choice. Keep her alive and be her puppet, or let her go and become the villain. "You are not a villain," Finn replied. Luna gazed at him, scrutinizing his features. "You're just you." "You don't recognize me, Finn." "Not really." "You see what you want to see." Finn's jaw hardened. "Maybe. But I know you aren't your granny. You don't have to bear her weight." Luna wanted to believe him, but the weight was already crushing her. The will, the police, the gossip in the tabloids, it was all coming together. Then there was Finn, with his steady gaze and troubled relationship with Sheila. He had once loved her, or believed he did. Could he ever truly recognize Luna for who she was, apart from the lady laying in this bed? Poppy Nozawa sat in a darkly lit bar, a drink of whiskey in her hand. She'd been dodging calls all day from Lee, the cops, and even Bill Spencer, who'd somehow gotten wind of the situation. Poppy's life had been full of wrong decisions, but none weighed as heavily on her as the night Sheila fell. She had been there, yes. They had argued, yes. But did she push her? The memory was hazy, full with wrath and terror. Her phone buzzed, and she looked at the screen. A text from an unknown number. Poppy, you can't run forever. The truth always emerges. She removed it, her hands trembling. Sheila had always been able to get under her skin, even while in a coma. Poppy drank the whiskey, the burn grounding her. She needed to safeguard Luna and keep her daughter from falling into Sheila's trap. But how? The cops were circling, but Luna was too stubborn, too devoted, to recognize the danger. Back at the hospital, the night went on. Luna stood by the window, watching the city lights flicker below. Finn had gone to buy coffee and left her alone with her thoughts. The doctor had arrived again, his words soft but firm. "We need a decision soon, Ms. Nozawa. The swelling isn't going down." Luna closed her eyes, visualizing Sheila's smile, which could enchant or frighten depending on her mood. She pondered about the will, the money, and the freedom it promised. She thought of Sheila's hand twitching, a ghostly motion that could indicate anything. The door opened again, and Lee entered, her expression unreadable. "Luna, there's something you need to see." She handed Luna a tablet. The screen displayed a blurry yet clear video. It depicted the stairs at Sheila's residence on the night of the fall. Sheila was there, arguing with someone just out of view. There was a scuffle, a push, and Sheila tumbled down the stairs. The person turned, and Luna's blood ran cold. That was her. "No," Luna said quietly, shaking her head. "That's not. I wasn't." "You were there," Lee replied quietly. "The police have it now." "Luna, what happened?" Luna's thoughts raced. She remembered the disagreement, how Sheila had teased her about Finn, the will, and her status in the family. She remembered her rage and the heat of the moment. Had she pushed her? Had she passed out or done something she couldn't undo? "I don't know," Luna replied, her voice breaking. "I don't remember." Lee's eyes softened, but there was steel below. "You should figure it out, Luna. Because if you don't, the cops will. And they won't care about your intentions." The following morning, the hospital was bustling with activity. Eric Forrester arrived with Donna, his expression somber as he surveyed the situation. Steffi and Ridge were already there, debating quietly with a police investigator who had arrived to interview Luna. Finn stood by Luna's side, shielding her from the storm. "Luna," Eric replied, his voice warm and forceful. "We are here for you, whatever you need." "I need answers," Luna murmured, her voice firm despite the turmoil within her. "I need to know what happened that night." The detective, a wiry man with piercing eyes, took a step forward. "Ms. Nozawa, we've got the video. We have witnesses who heard you threaten Sheila earlier that evening. You must accompany us." Luna's knees buckled, but Finn grabbed her. "She's not going anywhere until she talks to a lawyer," he added, his voice as steely as steel. Steffi rolled her eyes. "Finn, stop playing the hero. She's not worth it." "Enough," Eric exclaimed, silencing the room. "This is a family issue, and we will tackle it as a family. Give us some time, detective." The detective paused, then nodded and took a step back. Luna studied the faces around her. Eric's determination, Steffi's distrust, Finn's commitment, and Lee's silent concern. Then there was Sheila, still fighting in her coma, with her fate in Luna's hands. Hours later, Luna met in a conference room with a lawyer Eric had summoned, a bright lady named Carter who had previously handled Forrester legal issues. The video played in a loop, with each frame representing a knife in Luna's heart. She watched herself, or someone who resembled her, push Sheila. But the angle was incorrect, and the figure's actions were too purposeful. Something was not right. Wait, Luna said abruptly, interrupting the video. Look at that shadow. On the wall. Carter leaned nearer, her gaze sharpening. You're correct. There is someone else there. Just out of frame. Luna's thoughts raced. Poppy had been in the house. Had she been there, too? Or was it someone else, someone Sheila had met too many times? The options raced through Luna's mind, each one more perplexing than the last. We need to improve this, Carter explained. And we need to speak with Poppy. Now. Poppy was at the police station when Luna and Carter arrived, her face pallid and her hands shackled to a table. She looked up as Luna entered, her eyes wide with terror. Luna, I did not intend for this to happen. I swear. What happened, Mom? Luna asked, her voice shaking with wrath and desperation. Was you there? Have you pushed her? Poppy shook her head, tears falling down her cheeks. I do not know. During a struggle, I lost consciousness. When I woke up, she was at the bottom of the steps. I thought I'd done it. But then I saw the video and realized it wasn't just me. There was someone else. Luna's heart raced. Who? I don't know, Poppy replied. However, Sheila felt afraid. She kept insisting that someone was coming for her. Someone she'd betrayed. The pieces were falling into place, but the picture remained murky. Luna considered Sheila's enemies. There were too many to count. Deacon Sharp had loved and lost her. Quinn Fuller, who had argued with her about Eric. Even Bill Spencer, who had previously clashed with Sheila. Any of them could have been present that night. Sheila's condition worsened once she returned to the hospital. The physicians summoned Luna in, their expressions dismal. We're losing her, the lead doctor explained. The edema is very extreme. Ms. Nozawa, make your decision right now. Keep her on life support, or let her go. Luna stood beside Sheila's bedside, the weight of the decision crushing her. She stared at her grandmother's face, hoping for answers that would not come. Finn was there with his hand on her shoulder, but he couldn't help her through this. I don't know what to do, Luna muttered. Then listen to your heart, Finn replied. This is not Sheila's. Not the police's. Luna closed her eyes, thinking about the film, the darkness, and the reality that remained out there. She reflected about Sheila's life, her crimes, her love, and her turmoil. And then she thought of herself, the woman she wished to be, free of the shadows of her family's history. Keep her on, Luna finally said. For now. I'm not done with her yet. The doctor nodded, and the machines continued to hum. Luna knew it wasn't the end. The truth was still out there, and she was determined to find it, no matter the cost. The investigation progressed over the next week. Carter's team improved the film to reveal a second figure, a tall, broad-shouldered man with his face concealed by a hat. The cops were perplexed, but Luna had a hunch. She had seen that silhouette before in old images that Sheila had given her. It was Tom, Sheila's erstwhile collaborator, whom she had betrayed years before. Luna faced Deacon at Il Giardino, her voice low but angry. You knew Tom was back in town, right? He was at Sheila's that night, Deacon said, his eyes widening. Sheila burned a lot of bridges, Luna. Tom was only one of them. Did he push her? Luna demanded. I don't know, Deacon replied. But if he did, it was not because of the fall. It was about vengeance. Luna's blood grew cold. Revenge. It was Sheila's currency, and it was now returning to haunt her. But Luna was not Sheila. She refused to let this define her. The breakthrough came late one night, when Luna discovered a hidden chamber in Sheila's home. Inside was a journal filled with Sheila's handwritten confessions. She had been hatching a grand strategy to defeat her foes and safeguard her legacy. Tom had been a part of it, but Sheila had also betrayed him, stealing a fortune he believed was his. The last entry, dated the night of the fall, stated that Luna would understand. She is the only one who can complete what I started. Luna's hands shook while she read it. Sheila hadn't just named her proxy or left her a will. She'd given her a mission, a perilous game that could ruin all Luna treasured. The hospital room was calm again, Sheila still battling and scheming despite her unconsciousness. Luna sat next to her, with the journal in her lap. Finn was present, serving as a firm anchor. Steffi had backed off for the time being, and evenly appeared to see Luna differently. "I'm not playing your game, Grandma," Luna answered quietly, her voice firm. "I'm writing my own story." Sheila twitched her hand again, this time more forcefully. Her eyes twitched, a glimmer of life in the tempest. Luna leaned nearer, her heart hammering. "You're awake," she whispered. Sheila's lips trembled, and a small smile formed. "It took you long enough," she rasped. Luna laughed as tears streamed down her face. The war was not over. The truth was still out there, and the danger was far from over. But, for the first time, Luna felt in charge. Her name was Luna Nozawa, and she controlled her own fate.